Have you ever wondered why the most intelligent people are often the loneliest? Why those who truly see the world for what it is tend to be isolated, misunderstood, or even rejected? Intelligence, far from being the gift that opens all doors, can be the very thing that closes them. If you've ever found yourself in a conversation where your words were met with resistance instead of curiosity, if you've ever shared a truth only to be met with resentment instead of gratitude, listen carefully. Because what I'm about to tell you may be the key to surviving in a world where mediocrity thrives and brilliance is punished. Arthur Schopenhauer understood this. He knew that intelligence is not always an advantage, not in a society that values comfort over truth. What seems like simple logic to you can feel like an attack to others. The more you reveal your intellect, the more you risk becoming a target. And that's why the wisest among us do something counterintuitive. They pretend, they downplay, they disguise. Because true intelligence isn't about being recognized, it's about being effective. Let's be honest, being intelligent doesn't make life easier. In fact, it makes it harder. Intelligence is often seen as a gift, but in reality, it comes with a price. When you see through illusions, you realize that most people don't want the truth. They crave comfort, validation, and the reassurance that their beliefs are correct. To them, truth is not measured by logic or facts, but by how well it aligns with their emotions and preconceived notions. So what happens when you challenge that? You become the problem. Not because you are wrong, but because you disrupt the delicate equilibrium they have built around themselves. Truth, when inconvenient, is perceived as an attack rather than an insight. It shakes the foundation of their identity, forcing them to either adapt or resist. More often than not, they choose resistance. Think back. How many times have you corrected someone and felt their hostility rise? How many times have you stated an obvious truth, only to be met with cold silence or condescending smiles? Intelligence, when expressed without care, doesn't win admiration, it breeds resentment. It reminds others of their shortcomings, making them feel small, insecure, and envious. And here's the mistake many intelligent people make. They believe that knowing the truth is enough, that simply being right should grant them respect. But the world doesn't work that way. Knowledge isn't power. The ability to use knowledge strategically, that's power. Power lies not in truth alone, but in the skillful application of truth in a way that influences without resistance. Schopenhauer called it the art of pretending to be a fool. Not because you are one, but because there are moments when appearing less than you are is the smartest move. Intelligence is not merely about acquiring knowledge. It is about understanding when and how to reveal it. The world favors mediocrity because mediocrity is safe. It doesn't challenge the status quo, nor does it threaten the fragile egos of those in power. Intelligence, however, is dangerous. It questions, disrupts, and exposes. It forces people to confront realities they would rather ignore. And that is why, throughout history, the truly wise have learned the importance of concealment. Do you want to avoid conflict? Do you want to gain influence without resistance? Then don't make the mistake of constantly proving your intelligence. Instead, allow others to believe they are the smart ones. Let them think they arrived at their conclusions on their own. Guide them subtly rather than confronting them directly. Observe those who succeed, not necessarily the most brilliant, but those who navigate human relationships with skill. They do not intimidate. They do not argue for the sake of proving their superiority. They understand that the real game isn't about demonstrating intelligence, it's about strategic positioning. It is human nature to want to feel smart and valued. We even choose friend groups where we have the most influence over others. The successful people in society are those who let people indulge in their egos and pride, while manipulating situations in their favor. When you're in a meeting and someone says something completely wrong, your instinct might be to correct them. But to what end? Will they appreciate your correction? Will they thank you for your insight? No, they will resent you for making them look foolish. Consider Napoleon. He would feign weakness, allowing his enemies to grow overconfident, only to strike when they least expected it. Consider Da Vinci. He disguised his genius, making people believe he was just an eccentric artist, all while working on ideas centuries ahead of his time. Consider Tesla. He was a visionary, but his inability to mask his brilliance made him a target for those in power. So instead of making enemies, smile, nod, let the conversation move forward, because sometimes letting people remain in their ignorance serves your purpose better than exposing them. The more they underestimate you, the freer you are to move undetected. Look around. Who rises in society? Not necessarily the most intelligent. More often, it is those who understand how to navigate mediocrity. Those who realize that direct confrontation creates resistance. Those who know that the masses do not reward intelligence, they fear it. Mediocre people protect each other. They form alliances, promote their own, and exclude those who make them feel inferior. They do not seek the best and brightest. They seek those who fit in. If you stand out too much, if you challenge them openly, they will see you as an enemy. Does this mean you should embrace mediocrity? No, but you must understand how to exist within it. To survive, you must learn the art of subtlety. Do not draw attention to your intelligence unless necessary. Learn when to speak and when to remain silent. The greatest strategists in history never revealed their power too soon. They didn't show all their cards. They observed, they adapted, they waited, and when the time was right, they struck. Do the same. Move unnoticed. Do not be perceived as a threat. Allow those who think they are in control to believe they are in control. Let them play their games while you prepare for the real battle. And when the right moment comes, unleash your intelligence in a way that cannot be stopped. Here's something even more powerful than playing dumb. Becoming invisible, not physically, but strategically. Who are the most powerful people in history? Not those who constantly seek attention, not those who brag about their intelligence. The most powerful are those who operate from the shadows, influencing events without exposing themselves. Because what is unseen cannot be attacked. If no one perceives you as a threat, they leave you alone. They do not sabotage you, they do not try to destroy you. And while they waste their energy on petty conflicts, you are preparing for something far greater. Look at nature. The deadliest predators are silent. The most effective warriors do not announce their attacks. The snake does not warn its prey. The assassin does not reveal their position. The master strategist does not show their full intelligence. Because to be underestimated is to be free. The moment people recognize you as a threat, they begin to push back. They become defensive. They look for ways to undermine you, to bring you down, to ensure you never rise above them. Because to acknowledge your superiority is to admit their own inferiority, and most egos cannot bear that. But when you are underestimated, when people dismiss you, when they assume you are nothing special, you move freely. No one watches you too closely. No one sees you coming. No one prepares for what you are truly capable of. Sun Tzu wrote, "Appear weak when you are strong, and strong when you are weak." Here's the most dangerous truth of all. People are not treated based on what they are, but on how they are perceived. This is the unwritten law that governs human interaction, yet so few truly understand it. You may be brilliant, capable, and deserving, but if the world does not see you that way, it does not matter. Perception dictates reality, and in the grand game of power, reality is nothing more than the collective illusion people agree upon. It is not intelligence, skill, or merit that determines success. It is the image projected, the role played, the way others feel about you that shapes your destiny. It doesn't matter if you are the smartest person in the room. If people see you as a threat, they will eliminate you. They will not engage with your ideas. They will work to remove you from the equation entirely. But if you allow yourself to be seen as harmless, as unimportant, as just another ordinary person, no one will stand in your way. And that's where the real game begins. The best manipulators do not impose their ideas. They guide people into believing they discovered the idea themselves. The most powerful people do not argue to prove they are right. They let others think they won while secretly getting exactly what they wanted. So ask yourself, what do you really want? to win an argument, or to quietly shape the world around you. If you've made it this far, you already understand something most never will. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone. You don't need to win every debate. You don't need to show your intelligence at every opportunity. Because power is not in being seen. It is in controlling perception. The world is full of people desperate for attention, eager to prove themselves, fighting battles that don't matter. You will move differently. You will observe. You will measure your words. You will know when to act and when to disappear. And when you strike, no one will see it coming. This is the difference between those who struggle for recognition and those who control reality itself. So now you have a choice. Do you keep making noise? Or do you master the art of silence?